Ever wonder what's really behind the headlines? Or why certain theories just won't go away? Dive into the world of the No Name Podcast, your go-to podcast for unraveling the mysteries of conspiracies, politics, and everyday life. Each week, we blend our opinions, analysis, with some storytelling to uncover the hidden layers of our world. From the latest political intrigue to the most fascinating conspiracy theories, we bring you a balanced dose of skepticism and insight. Whether you're a seasoned critical thinker or just curious about the whispers that swirl around us, we offer a space where your questions are welcome, and your mind can wander freely. Tune in, spark your curiosity, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. The No Name Podcast, where every episode is a new chance to think critically and see the world through a different lens. Don't miss out. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
Happy Monday. This is Jeremy coming to you from the No Name Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin.
It's your boy Trey.
We are here on this post-Thanksgiving episode. I hope you got to listen to our Thanksgiving episode because it was a lot of fun.
Happy Murder Day.
He texted me that too. I just started laughing.
I was definitely impressed with how that went. But today we are going to talk about a subject very near and dear to our hearts in all of America, the moon.
Woo! The great moon landing of California.
I think if you go back and listen to our very first episode, that was what we did, and this is basically going to be a part 2 because that was BT. That was before Trey.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to...
Well, also, you got to think, too, I mean, that is such a huge topic with the moon and space and everything that you can't cover it in one episode.
Yeah, we wanted to come back to it, and definitely with Trey on board, so just to get his perspective. But I think the biggest takeaways from that one is: do you believe that we landed on the moon, Trey?
No.
Okay. Do you have any reasons as to why?
I have several. You know, Stanley Kubrick was one of them, but it will also be, I am a historical person, so you'll hear me talk about race, you'll hear me talk about America, you'll hear me talk about all this stuff in a historical context, because I often believe that, you know, if you don't learn from your past, you're bound to repeat it. If you try to rinse it away and act like it didn't happen, you try to probably fall into that trap again, especially generations later. I think there's some problems we can fix by teaching our kids about the past, right? And historically, I cannot find any place outside of Antarctica that Europeans have dominated and not went back.
That's fair.
And then you throw in the idea of American dominance in war. What kind of advantage would we have if we were able to put some type of weaponry on the moon until, watch this, now it's not United States of America, but United States of the Earth, because we have this missile or laser that we will shoot down on your planet. We will knock out your satellites.
The Death Star.
Yes, we have our version of the moon Death Star.
Yeah.
And then for the fact that we have not been back either, like think about how curious we are about things, and we haven't. I just don't believe that's true.
So what I saw, like before I even got here earlier, what I saw was their excuse for us not going back was the mission changed. Okay, we went. Our sole purpose to get there to begin with was to beat Russia, to get there before Russia. Which I have my own thoughts about that as well, but that was the whole purpose. And so since then, there's no reason to go back because we did it. It's kind of like we've been there, done that, conquered that, boom, we're done. That's their excuse, but that's not a valid excuse to me.
So when you look through a telescope, are you telling me you don't see the American flag on there?
Absolutely not. Never seen it.
Well, if you look on our artwork for the No Name Podcast, there is an American flag on a planet.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a picture of Jesus? Have you heard about that one? So, yeah. And if those people who don't know, just dig into the picture that most of us see in our great cathedrals. Or it's not a picture of even Jesus. It's a picture of a guy's son who, we'll leave it at that. You can figure it out on your own. But I don't believe. First of all, if there's no wind, there's no oxygen. How's the flag just blowing?
It's one of my favorite things. And then
I can only tell you what they said. And they said that it's not really blowing.
What is it doing? Why is it? It looks like in the act of blowing. It's not like a straight. It should be.
It was like this.
I agree
with
It was like the
straight.
force or something of when they put it in. Like it was. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it sounds like.
You see how we're trying to even talk about it, and it's weird to talk about.
Yeah, it's
It does not. It should be straight. It should be dry.
cut and dry.
Cut and dry.
Yeah,
I said it backwards.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's. I got where you're going.
And then I think another reason I just like it doesn't that
It
reason
says
doesn't.
that
It's not right.
they put a telescope pole. They extended a telescope pole at the top in order to make the flag fly proudly. In order to make the flag fly.
But why does it look like
proudly.
it's blowing in the wind?
Yeah, because it's set up that way. They said it's set up to look that way. They
So-
set it up to look that way.
Yeah. And one of the other things that got me was the rover. I mean, the thing looked like it was made of
Mars
cardboard
rover?
and duct tape.
The Mars rover.
Well, the one that they were driving around on the moon.
Oh yeah.
It looked like it was made of duct tape and cardboard. I'm like, are you how did you even get this thing up there?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Well, a lot of people too. They argue with the
it's like an
shadows.
erector set.
They argue with the shadows too. Why are you projecting such good shadows like that? Where is the light source coming from when supposedly it's so dark in space and it was
Well, the
so
light
dark on
source
the moon?
supposedly is the
Comes
sun.
sun.
It's so
It
yes,
should be coming from the
that's
sun.
what they're saying. That's what they're saying, but it's supposed to be. I don't know. There's the parallel lines and all this other stuff is what they're claiming. To me, their excuses don't add up. They're not good enough
Yeah.
to me personally. And I'm sitting here going, I agree with Trey with with Stanley Kubrick with 2001: A Space Odyssey. Okay, that movie came out in I think it was 1968, and we supposedly landed on the moon in what 69? God,
Yeah, it was
69?
1969.
And 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in 68. Have y'all ever seen that movie? It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks
He was ahead of his time.
amazing. So it's like, I think he could have been involved with the shooting of the moon landing in California. But I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
And one of the things they say, you can't see the stars in the pictures either.
Right. Because it's supposedly the sun. It's supposed to be daylight on the moon is what they're saying because of the sunlight.
Isn't it always
if it's-
sunlight on the moon?
That's just their excuse, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, that doesn't make sense because the moon is borrowing sunlight from, sun obviously.
Yeah.
But how can the moon have a daytime?
I don't know.
Like the moon is going around us. So what they say doesn't make so the moon has its own 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me either. That's what I was saying. Their excuses don't add up to me.
So if you want to hear the rest of our theories that we had, then go listen to the very first episode of this podcast.
Yeah, because
Um,
there's another theory that we didn't really touch on very much, but I know that I had brought it up.
Well, let's
to you.
cover it here. I just don't want to, redo what we already did. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead.
That's what I was saying. Is we had touched briefly, like I had mentioned the hollow moon theory on the very first episode, and that intrigued you a little bit as to really what it was.
Yeah.
So what they think with the hollow moon theory is Apollo 12, the Apollo 12 mission, when they crashed onto the moon, they crashed in such a hard way that it made what's called a moonquake. And when they hit it so hard, that was the equivalent of 1 ton of TNT going off. Well,
Jeez.
in doing that, the vibrations of that moonquake is gonna reverberate and ring kind of like a bell did. So, when you ring a bell, how it just rings and rings and rings for a little while, like the bong.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how it did, and it did it for such a long period of time that a lot of people came up with this theory of, is the moon hollow? Is that why it, vibrated for such a long time? They said that it's 60% less dense than Earth.
Interesting.
It is 60% less dense than Earth. So that's why a lot of people do believe maybe the moon's hollow.
I got to be honest. You're throwing me off. You came here with notes.
I did.
Yeah, that's like.
Step your game up.
I did.
Tell them, Dustin.
I'm
You
like-
didn't come here to play.
That's
I'm
right.
like, I need to take some notes on taking notes. I mean,
Right.
I'm
That's
impressed.
right.
He's got notes. That's good.
That's right.
I like it. Yeah. I can hear the pages in my headphones. It's good.
I did my research on that one a little bit.
So, Trey, did you have any theories on the hollow Earth?
Well, I think
I mean, on the hollow moon?
That's a
Don't-
whole
We're talking moon.
nother
We're
topic.
talking moon.
Don't
That's
Sorry.
a
dare go there.
whole nother topic.
don't you do it. I think there's some scientific evidence to the point that it may be hollow inside the moon because it seems like a theory. If you look like kind of looking at some research, kind of more scientists kind of gearing toward the idea that it might have to be, hollow in order for it to do what it does as moons across the galaxy. So I'm gonna lean with Now here's where it gets.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
If we're going with is it hollow? Is it man-made?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's like a
If
wood
it were
structure or
hollow,
something, or
that's
is
what I'm
it
saying.
naturally hollow?
If it were hollow, if indeed it was hollow, I would kind of have to lean toward maybe it's a possibility.
Wait. Hold on. How would man make it if it's in the sky?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just asking the question. I'm asking the tough questions.
Huh?
It would be possible.
Wait, what? If we believe there's just space and natural sense of space, how would men send a moon ball to pull the tide and do everything that the moon does to space?
I would have to say it's possible on the same level as we got into our episode last week with extraterrestrials and the government having, ties to them. They work together and they could do all that. If indeed extraterrestrials come from another galaxy, and Mars would be Earth that's already, what we went on this topic last week. Let's say Mars is Earth after it had already dried up.
So you would say,
So maybe it was placed there by another species that is in control of that of the moon and knows what the real purpose of the moon is.
So you would say aliens put our moon in place. Would I help? Why would we do?
Think about what the moon does at nighttime. The moon is the light in the darkness. True.
Sometimes.
True.
When it's at its fullest, most days.
Right.
Most days.
A full moon is the light in the darkness. So, but maybe a half moon or a crescent moon. Maybe all these. There's a purpose behind all of them. I don't know. What were you saying again though? Like the could it be man-made? I think it's possible that it could be some sort of military base or something like that has to do with space. But I don't know. I'm not going to go dive too far down that rabbit hole because I have nothing to back that up on. I'm just saying it's possible if we look at the possibilities of other galaxies and other species existing.
So the scientific definition of a moon, just period, is it's a natural satellite that has solid bodies and that come in many shapes. Most moons are formed from gas and dust surrounded by planets in the earthly solar system. So if it is solid on the inside, it's because it's a big rock.
Mm-hmm.
Which still doesn't make sense because out of gas, I'm trying to think, and dust, how do you form rock like that? Or like, watch this. And as you know, I'm not natural selection individual or naturalism, so I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. I think everything was controlled with intentionality. And I don't think if the moon rather is hollow, then it's because something is living inside of it.
Mm-hmm. And I could get on board with that too. If we look at aliens and other extraterrestrials, of how we believe now that they have all these bases under the water here on Earth, how do we know they don't have a base in the center of the moon?
I'm going to ask y'all some questions because this stuff is, because we're talking about moons. Did y'all know Mercury and Venus do not have a moon?
I did not know that.
Watch this. This next one's about to blow your mind. Did you know Mars has two?
Really?
And we can see Mars sometimes.
Yeah.
I've never seen its moon.
I've never even seen Mars.
We could like with a telescope, you could see Mars every night.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't have a telescope, but
I don't either.
I'm saying, can you go outside and look up at the sky and see Mars?
Yeah, actually you can.
Sometimes,
on like every once in a while. I don't know what the timing is, but it's like every couple years.
Just about all day.
No, sometimes we can see a little glimpse of Mars. It's not huge.
Every couple years or whatever that is, it's like close enough to where you can actually see it with.
So I'm curious,
with your
what
regular
does
eye.
Mars? Is one of the moon of Mars our moon?
No, it has its two. Oh, when they say it has its own moons, two.
So
How
two.
Now, is their
completely
moons the
different
same
moons
as
than
ours? Like, is it made of the same
Gas and dust.
gas and dust? Is it the same size? Like, what's the?
See the sizes.
I'm assuming it's not as bright. Well, Mars isn't as bright because it's further away from the sun. I think the reason our moon is so bright is because we're so close to the sun.
So now this gets interesting, and maybe to Jeremy is I'm looking at the two pictures of moons of Mars. We have a very good looking moon in comparison. Their moons are Phobos, and Deimos.
They've got one of those alien looking moons.
Yeah, one of them is like a rock. Actually, it looks like a boomerang.
Looks like a boomerang, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really interesting.
What are you doing with two moons? Like now,
I don't know. I mean, they didn't. I don't know. What do you mean? What are they doing with two moons? Like they
like Earth. Like
intentionally
think
have
about
two
it.
moons?
If we got another moon, our planet is what's the proper word here? It's canned, for the lack of a better word, because we have, like, think about the damage our moon does to our planet. When I say damage, means it pulls in the tide, high tide, low tide. People go crazy.
Allegedly.
People go crazy when it's a full moon. Can you imagine 2 full moons?
I love the moon.
Why?
I don't know what it is about the moon, but I am so fascinated with the moon. Like, I could stand outside and just stare at the moon for the longest time. I get captivated by the moon. I think it's beautiful. I love the light and the light that it gives off at nighttime. I love the moon.
Maybe you're part werewolf.
It may be. I don't know. I think that there's something mystical about the moon a little bit in ways.
That's the Bigfoot coming out in you.
It's funny. Today when I was at the store, I saw a wine bottle of wine I started to buy and bring it here, and it had a Bigfoot on the bottle.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. I am nerded out. Okay, so Phobos, and I may be saying that wrong. I'm putting this in air quotes. 50 million years, it's going to crash into Mars. They're on a course to crash together.
Their
50
moon?
million years. How long ago? Like, how many more years they got?
I don't know. I don't know what the countdown is.
Is that 50 million more years, or is that?
Yeah, that's
It says the moon would crash. This moon will crash into Mars in 50 million years, or break into a ring.
Oh wow, it could have its own ring.
break into a ring like Saturn.
Yeah.
So you saying that? I wonder, was Saturn a moon at one time and it broke off into a ring?
No worry. I will answer your question soon.
Apparently, Saturn's rings are just space trash.
That's what they told your daughter, wasn't it? Well, they
Yes.
also told your daughter Area 51 is a tourist attraction that you can go and
Yeah.
take you on tours.
Try that.
Yeah.
I'd like to shop at the gift shop.
You know,
please.
another thing that I was going to say to you guys that I found that,
We got the notes.
yeah, I got the
Love
notes
it.
right
Let's
here.
get the notes out.
All right. So this is one thing that people said that conspiracy theorists like us used on why we did not go to the moon, why the moon landing was fake.
Give it.
And it's because people believe, this is science. Earth is surrounded by a zone of charged particles known as the Van Allen belt, which is actually produced of radiation, and it's such dangerous levels that you would think that if you tried to cross over that belt and go into space, it would be too dangerous to cross over because of the radiation belt. Well, they say they use it as what they call it, the firewalking theory or something like that. So anybody that knows about firewalking, you got to get in and get out as fast as possible. So they said that when they crossed over the Allen's belt of radiation, they crossed over as fast as they possibly could. That's why they got through all the radiation and then they're fine. Get out of here, man! Like, for real?
I don't know, man.
They're not going to cross over a belt of radiation that fast, and there'll be no repercussions for it whatsoever.
How do we really know
How do we really know what?
that they couldn't have done it by accident?
I guess anything.
Why is it, or to your point, these people could have got sick and then they realized the symptoms until they got back to Earth.
Well, I don't know. Buzz Aldrin, I know he did an interview with I think a kid or somebody a couple years ago, 4 years ago or something. I don't even know how long ago. But he did an interview with him, and they straight up asked Buzz Aldrin, why did nobody ever go back? And he said, simple, because we never went.
What?
And they said,
He said,
well,
Buzz
Aldrin said this. Now, when I Googled this and looked it up, the one of the sites says you can't use that as taking him literal. He didn't literally mean we never went. That's not what he meant by that.
Then what did he meant? If my wife asked me was I at somebody's house and I said, yeah, I was over there, she's going to think that I was over there.
Right.
I am where I'm supposed to be. She knows I'm here. If she said, did you go? And I'm like, yeah. And then she finds out I was not here. Do you know that's a problem? And if I come back and say to her, you can't literally think I was at Jeremy's house. She was
He said something about that's not a question children should ask. That's a question for grown adults. And the answer is simple, because we never went.
So why lie?
I'm so confused right now.
So I'm going, well, if he says that, then how are you going to say
Okay.
we took that the wrong way? He literally said we didn't go.
Okay, help me understand this too. Okay, let's rewind it real quick. Why didn't Russia go to the moon next? If we went,
Yeah, why wouldn't they finish the mission?
Yeah, why wouldn't they go?
watch this. I give you one better. China's always in competition with us. Why not them? Why is it that we're the only country out of all the thousands of countries that's on this planet that has been to the moon?
Supposedly. Allegedly.
No other country would like to just say we stick. Watch this. If I'm Russia and I'm going to be about it, then I'm going to go up there and I'm going to plant my Russian flag right next to the American flag if I don't decide to kick it over.
I was gonna say they kick it over first
Well,
and then put it,
even still,
And rewrite history.
even
throw it off
still,
into space.
Come on.
check this
You
out.
never hear?
Right.
Even still, let's say we did go to the moon and we're racing to see who can get there first. Okay, we got there first. Hypothetically, we got there first. What studies have we done to say, oh, we found all this and this and this and this? Well, wouldn't Russia or anybody else still have motive to go and find out
Absolutely.
more information than we have?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
said, no, you're wrong. It's actually this. And we found all this. We found out all this stuff.
Well, that's what we're saying. Is like they
Yeah.
would have gone anyway.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying. I'm
That-
agreeing with you guys.
and
saying
definitely China would have
they
gone
would
too.
still continue to try and go.
No
So
problem.
why is it nobody's going?
I
And they
can-
just say, oh, well,
Have you-
because
have-
the mission
No,
changed.
not the mission. I had a guy I argue with. I was going to say I debate him, but he's like us. And he said this. He said he thinks that we did go to the moon, but then we met some people, aka aliens up there, and they said, don't you come back. Now, that makes more sense to me because then America probably came back to Russia and say, we're going to play you this tape. Nobody else can go.
But why would America do that anyway? Because wouldn't they just send Russia up there too?
Yeah, wouldn't you say,
anyway?
hey, man, yeah, they said they said to send
They
y'all
said
up there.
bring it
instead.
on.
They said for y'all to come
Make
up there
sure you
instead.
say you were the first one there.
As much I think as much as we play politics and world powers on this earth, I think if we did go up there and some being told us not to come back, we understand that the game that they're playing is different. That the game that they're playing, that we're telling them to play, is not one of just legitimately, oh, we'll send Russia because we want Russia to be destroyed, but it'll be, hey, if y'all come back, we're destroying this planet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they were going to destroy the whole planet, maybe the United States would say, all right, yeah, y'all need to chill over there with your little space mission. I mean, to be honest with you, either we didn't go or we did go, and that's the only reason we haven't gone back.
Right.
Because everything else doesn't make sense. Because if I was Russia and I had spent all that money trying to beat the United States and we missed out by even a year,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just go ahead and finish it? Like
Right.
we were saying, like you might as well just go ahead and go.
Right.
Anyway, because you're going to have different research than the United States had.
Right.
You're going to have a different outlook, so you might as well go and kick over the American flag because it's not like they're coming back to put it back.
Yeah. And think about it. They did say that they have all these different rock that they've gotten from the moon and everything, and they've tested it. And what was it? It came back with these minerals that are not, that have to be made. They're not naturally produced minerals like would be produced here on Earth. They're minerals and metals and stuff that we have to produce. We have to make it.
Well, it's space. Why do we have to produce it?
I'm just saying, like,
We
it's
only
not
found them,
naturally
but
occurring.
I'm saying, like, it is natural if it's on the moon. It's
Is it
just,
though?
yeah. I mean, if let's say the moon is real and we go there, like, let's say, for instance, we're able to
It's
go
like
to,
uranium.
yeah.
Uranium just naturally produces on the moon.
I don't know. I didn't make the moon.
Well, I'm just saying, like, science says that it wouldn't, though. Like, you wouldn't think that it
The
would.
limited science.
You have to trust the science.
Yeah,
The limited,
Yeah.
the limit, fake science.
yeah.
That's fake science, man.
Trust the science. That's what
Well,
I
what
hear.
do you think about this belt of radiation that surrounds the Earth? And you don't think there's a belt of radiation
No.
that surrounds the Earth?
No, that means every time somebody gets shoot in the atmosphere, they're dying. No.
Well, according to Jeremy, every time somebody tries to shoot in the atmosphere anyway, they curve, so they're not really going through it.
So where do you think they're going?
I don't know. I feel like it's just a facade. I mean, haven't you ever noticed that whenever you see a rocket take off, it always does the curve?
Yeah.
How many times have you ever seen it go straight up? Wouldn't your thought be it's just going to go straight up?
I mean, if the Earth is curved, shouldn't it curve a little bit?
I don't think so. You'd still go straight up if you're standing next to the launch site.
So you think
Yeah, think about it. If the Earth is curved, the land is curved, not the air.
Right. That's what I mean. Like you would still go straight up
Yeah.
because like he just said, the Earth is curved, but the, atmosphere is not.
You would go, yeah.
It's just atmosphere.
So y'all think people are in space right now?
I don't know.
I don't know, because and that's what I've been trying to get through this whole time is I don't know if the whole thing is a facade, because it's like we had kind of discussed in the first episode. There's a reason that they wanted to go to the moon, and I don't think it's just because, we want to get there first. We want to get there before Russia, or Russia wants to get there, but we just want to get there before America. There's a reason they all wanted to go, and I think that they know what's out there, but they don't have the technology or the means to get there to do these experiments they really want to do, but they're faking it to make it look like they did,
Trey, do you
So-
think I'm crazier than you did before?
I'm processing it. So when you see people like, okay, Jeff Bezos and the crew, Elon Musk, your boy, when they send these people to these outer rims of outer space and you see them floating, y'all don't think we can go past that?
Allegedly.
What do you mean? Michael Strahan went to space. I saw it on Good Morning America. Why would Michael Strahan lie?
You saw it on Good Morning America?
It's the show he's on that show, and he was missing one day, and I was like, oh, well, where's Michael Strahan? Because I like his jokes. And then they said, oh, he's training with Jeff Bezos to go on the little thing he called. And I was like, wait, what? How did that happen? How does he even get selected for something like that? And they said, hey, we want people not to be scared of space. Now, granted, these other people have billions of dollars. You have to have billions of dollars to get a seat. I think they're doing the mass exodus, preparing for the mass exodus to leave us with this crappy planet. And Mike Strahan went to the outer rim of the Earth, and he was floating in, and him and Jeff Bezos was just...
You know that David Hasselhoff's best friend was a talking car.
I mean,
It's true. I saw it on TV. Knight Rider.
No, that's not... I knew where you were going with that. I'm just saying that's not his best friend.
I mean,
because y'all know people that's doing it. Y'all know that people are doing it.
I don't know people that
they're
are
really doing it. I know that they're...
Not personally.
you trust Michael, what's his name?
Strahan.
Yeah, you trust that guy?
Yeah, I trust him.
Really?
He has no reason to lie to me.
Do you call him and...
Talk to him.
I didn't
how's it
know
going?
him. I said I trust him.
Okay, I'm just asking.
What?
It could just be a facade.
What's a facade?
Him as a
Going to
human
space?
being. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
wait. Are
have you heard of
acknowledging his
CGI?
life form?
have you heard of
No, that's
CGI?
not. I can see CGI.
Have you heard of AI?
That was not it.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, because if somebody in 1968, in 2001: A Space Odyssey, if somebody had shown me that on TV and said that this was this was real, we got live footage from NASA of this spacecraft flying through space, I would think that was legit.
Would you believe the same thing in Star Wars?
In 1968, if they told me on TV that it was real, this was real, they took a clip from it and said, "This is on the news. This is breaking news from space."
Hey, I'm just saying.
If your government tells you that it is, you're probably going to believe it.
So are y'all pushing the narrative? So we going past the moon landing.
Be careful about pushing the narrative.
Yeah, don't say
No.
that.
I'm not pushing
I'm
anything.
not pushing
Pushing a
anything.
narrative.
I'm not pushing
I'm not
anything.
pushing anything.
I just
Y'all
question
pushing
it.
P right
I
now.
question it.
That's a rap song. Okay. The question y'all throwing out to me now, which is going beyond the moon landing. Y'all would say that we had never ever went to space at all. Not just the moon, but I would say I agree and say we never went to the moon.
Here's the one thing I question the most is literally what I was just saying. Why does every rocket, why does every quote unquote spaceship, whatever you want to call it, why do they always curve? I just can't get it. Like, why is it not going straight up? Why is it not? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna look this up, Jeremy, to see why does it curve.
Okay, careful with your search history. I'm just saying.
My deal is that, and we know how.
You keep saying Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
You trust Jeff Bezos? Like,
As much as I trust Elon Musk.
okay, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't even know that I fully trust Elon. I mean, I have came out here and I've said I think Elon is a genius. I think Elon is smart and all this other stuff. Doesn't mean I trust him.
Why do you think he's smart?
I think he's just a very smart businessman.
How do you know that?
I look at how much money he's made and how successful his companies are. That's why I say that.
I don't think that he's smart.
He's getting angry.
He is. I can feel it too. He hates it anytime anybody gives Elon any credit of anything. It upsets Trey.
You might as well call me Elon Jr. How much I hate it. I'll tell you right now.
But I look at it as I think the government is so corrupt and the government does so many things.
What benefit do you? Help me understand it. Okay, I'm with y'all on the moon landing. Help me. What benefit does the government get for lying about just being in space? Period.
Well, that's what I want to know. I want to know why. Like, really, I want to know what all that they have found, if they have found anything out, and why they really want to do it. But I think that one of the reasons they do it is so that they can say, well, this is what we're doing with all of this money. We're using all this money and...
You talking about NASA money?
NASA money. Yeah.
I'm just got to see what government
NASA money. But this is what we're using all this money for in our research. So here's what our proof is. Here's what our evidence is. This is what you can see this is the progress we've made.
But
I don't really believe it. I don't think they've made any. I think they're wasting all this money trying, and they haven't been able to do anything.
Jeremy, what you got? Why do you think they would lie about going to space? Period. Understand why not going to the moon. The moon was the 1960 thing. Beat Russia. But why would the government lie about just space and period?
Well, because now I think you have to keep it going. You can't just,
Went on for so long.
I mean, you just have to keep it going because you can't, people are so interested in it because it's such a phenomenon, right?
Cool.
So
I don't think the average American gives a flip about space.
The average American
Because
may
they
not,
don't
but there's
know,
a lot of them that
they
do.
don't know enough about. I don't think they know as much as they know what's out there. If the average American like me really knew what was in space and what benefits we could get from other places, what other technologies are out there and everything, we would be more interested in it. But we don't know all that. I think that they do, but they still don't know how to get it.
The government?
Yeah, I don't think they know how to get it. Now, do I think that space in general, they've never done anything in space? No. I think they can see in space. I do think that there's satellites in space. I do think they've managed to launch satellites into space. We got to look at, you've been on here before and you've talked about the Tower of Babel. Well, they built a tower to try and go up. I think your quote unquote modern day space aircrafts and stuff trying to get there is the same. They can't get there. They want to. Since the dawn of time, man's had a fascination with getting out there, trying to get up there, see what's out there. They have not been able to.
All right, Jeremy, I got you.
Okay.
Rockets curve during launch because of the Earth's gravity. Now, this is where it gets tricky for me, scientifically.
Trust the science tray.
Here we go.
Johnny Appleseed, here we go.
Which pulls them towards the planet. So the rocket's going up, and Earth's gravity says not so fast. While they are also moving horizontally, resulting in a curved trajectory that allows them to efficiently reach orbit while conserving fuel. This maneuver is often called a gravity turn. Boom.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
You said boom.
Okay.
That did not help me at all.
You just served us up a plate of.
Okay.
Jeremy said he wanted to know, but I'm not gonna lie. It didn't help me now.
Yeah.
It doesn't help the narrative.
It goes up and turns horizontal, and then what we do is we shoot outside of the Earth.
We shoot outside of people's view. That's what
Yeah.
we're shooting outside of people's view. That's what it feels like to me.
That didn't help me at all.
That's what I mean. Is like to me, it feels like we shoot outside of people's view, and then eventually they can't see it anymore, and all of a sudden, oh, it's in space, or did it just come down in the ocean somewhere?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, how many launch sites have you ever seen in the middle of the United States? Where's it always at?
Texas and Florida.
Exactly, which is near the ocean.
Yeah, because they don't want one to land in the middle of somebody's.
Why would it
yard.
land if it's going straight to the outer space?
Was it Apollo 13 that boom? You don't want that junk happen over. Just like when they went the Chinese balloon when it's flying over America, they wanted to shoot it down, they just couldn't because they didn't know where it was going to land.
That's exactly why they wouldn't shoot it down.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Or
So you would have just shot the balloon down?
absolutely.
What if you hit a residential area?
I'll tell you this, okay? I've heard that the reason it didn't get shot down is because they weren't getting anything that you can't get off of Google Earth. I slightly disagree with that because I feel like the balloon was low enough to be able to pick up a lot of information, not images.
Information how? What you mean? Data?
Yeah.
How? How did
like
they do that?
Cell phone data, Wi-Fi data, all kinds of stuff. Like get them into.
You think they might have had something on the device that can pull that information? Maybe?
Absolutely, airwaves, the whole nine.
Well, you giving China a lot of credit right now,
dude. Everything we have comes from China.
Mm-hmm.
So
how would they not be able to harvest everything they've created?
This is one of the things I said too about with COVID. They look at it and they say, okay, everybody gets their stuff from us. What's one of the best things we can do? We can destroy their economy where they have to rely on us even more.
Well, hey, we have a global economy, so if they ever try to destroy us, they destroy themselves in a second. But I just don't think. Okay, so I think. Okay, breathe, Trey. We don't do the moon landing.
No.
All right. I agree with y'all. Something's fishy about the moon landing, but y'all are going past that and say, bump it. We ain't been in no space. Okay.
I didn't say that. I said I think we have satellites in space.
No, that's not a person being going.
No, I don't think they have a person in
space. It's sending up a little
I don't
robot.
believe that they have a person in space.
Okay. And then y'all will go further and say that the government just doesn't just lie about everything. Is there anything that y'all believe the government doesn't lie about?
Taxes.
Yeah.
That we gonna pay them? Death.
Taxes exist.
So you don't even.
Well, can I offer you a glass of tea, Trey?
I need some.
From Boston.
Give me that tea party. Preferably, I want the raw kind. You have to put in a little device and dip it in your tea. This is. I think we have been to prims of space.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
Just like the rim. Just.
So you think that we send people up there to float around?
And
We got.
study-
What about a
study-
space station? Does the space station?
No, ain't no space station up there.
There's no space station. So where do you draw the line? Okay,
What
I've said. So me and Dustin have said we don't even think that we've made it to outer space. So if you don't think a space station is real, you don't think we went to the moon. Where
I do think the space station is real. I just don't think it's in space.
Well, we don't think that there's a space station in space. I mean, the space station's in. You've already said
Hollywood.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What have we accomplished as a human race?
As a human race with space,
Yeah. What have we accomplished? Like where
just getting to the brim.
what is the brim?
Whatever part you can float at. I don't have the scientific.
So I mean, I think it was
whatever's
4 or
above the
5 years
stratosphere.
ago. Red Bull sent up some dude, like to what you might be calling the brim, and he literally did a free fall from there. It was pretty cool.
Travis Pastrana.
It was pretty cool to watch. I think that actually happened. He didn't make it to outer space per se, but he made it to the floating area and literally did a free fall. I don't even know how he's alive, but it looked pretty cool. He had like some wings on and
did he
stuff.
burn?
No.
Did he go high enough?
So you think we've made it past the burn mark?
Yeah. The radiation that he was talking about.
But you just told me you didn't believe that.
I don't believe it, but I would say it would have to be in there. Around
But
past
I didn't.
there.
But well, no, wait now.
He's got his notes.
That zone of charged particles, known as the Van Allen belt, that's a scientifically proven thing.
We
That's
don't
not
believe-
something that.
That's what I'm
That's not
saying.
something that me or just a conspiracy theorist made up. That's scientists say, "Oh yes, this."
If you're gonna
So
challenge?
if you're going to believe science on one hand, you can't say, "Okay, I don't believe science on this hand."
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can. It's some science that validates what I'm saying, and it's some science I question.
Right, but I'm saying like so we've made it to the brim where you can float. So that's past the radiation
Belt, the
Belt.
Orion's, what is it called?
The Van Allen belt.
Van Allen belt.
Van Allen, but so we've made it
Full
past
relay-
that.
Yeah.
So how do you get back?
To
Or
Earth?
have they ever come back?
Oh yeah, they come back. They just fall in the ocean.
So you make it up there, you float around until gravity grabs you, or how do you get back?
You just float around and then you put the thrusters and you hit the button and you come back to Earth.
Simple.
I didn't say
Hit
that.
the button and you come back to Earth.
I did not say that.
It doesn't feel simple.
Well, my question too is my question too is this: is if we suppose landed on the moon in 1968 and we've been producing all this money for all this space research, where's all the proof? I mean, where is all the evidence that they've done at? Where is it all at?
Classified. Can't tell you that we out here doing something that you don't know we doing. You can't tell. Come on, it's classified, man. Y'all better hope your boy just declassify everything.
Who's your boy?
You know who your boy is.
He always calls him.
Say his
our boy.
name.
Is that Candyman? I will from now on out, I'm referring to your boy. When I'm around Jeremy, I'm saying your boy. Nobody else will understand what I'm saying when I say it.
So if we don't like one and we ended up voting for the other one, that's our boy.
A vote against your boy. A vote for your boy was a vote against space. That's deep. We're never going to space. Even though he started what is it? The Star Trek team, Star Force. What was it? What is it? Space
Force?
Space Force.
Yeah.
I give him credit for that. That was smart.
Why not, right?
Cause they're not doing anything. But Doge is going to get rid of them.
They should technically. I mean, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, that should be shut down, right?
They should.
Yeah.
NASA. Why? Like, what is
They
NASA
should
doing?
change NASA to MSB. Make space better.
Hey, don't be biting off my slogans.
That's what you should do.
Make America better. You can't.
Make space better.
No.
How about make space exist?
Right, they're wrong. How about let's do some real space stuff. 'Cause to your point, I know we're joking, but to your point, NASA does get a lot of money, and we don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I do see an issue with that.
I thought you said that wasn't tax funded.
Some of it's not.
You told me that
No, some of it's not, but they are getting paid. They are a government agency. They are getting paid.
That's what I thought, and
Yeah, but-
I feel like you made me feel like that was not true.
No, some of their projects are like I showed you
Private funded.
private funded,
Yeah.
or they do the little loan
The
information.
grants or whatever.
Yeah. Like the one where I sent you something about. Who was it I sent you about? They doing a loan program.
Yeah.
But they do stuff like that too. NASA's like, hey, yeah, we'll work with y'all to build your space.
Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian.
Rivian. I like Rivian.
That's
That was I love turtles moment.
I'm just saying, I like the truck.
I love turtles.
I like the truck.
Trey. I don't think I've ever laughed as hard on this podcast as I did when you told me that you were a turtle for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
I just mentioned I was a very wise turtle, by the way. And I had a green jumpsuit from Walmart, and I had a shell. It was awesome. Why?
Does your mom have a picture of this?
I don't.
If she does, she needs to send it to me.
If she did, she probably lost it from all the millions of Polaroids. I'm gonna see, can I find it?
I wish you would, because I would love to see it.
It's amazing. I would never
Anyway.
forget.
No, that actually happened. Thank God. So that's Trey made it to be a turtle, but
Ninja
he did
Turtle
not make
mix.
it. He did not make it to space though.
So ideally, I'm gonna throw this out here for you. Non-turtle related. What do you think NASA is doing if we're not pursuing the moon? If we're not pursuing Mars, what are we doing? What is NASA doing?
Oh, I've never said they're not pursuing it. I think that they're trying. I think that they are trying to get there.
To the moon still?
I don't know if they're trying to get to the moon still. I think that they did try. I still think that they launch things into space to try to get to space. I still think that they're trying. I just don't know that they're going.
Shout out to my road construction workers.
Why?
However, have you ever seen how many road construction workers you have for one project?
Yeah.
And you drive by and they're all sitting around talking, and you're like, "What are you guys doing? Like, come on, let's move this project along."
They wait in the nighttime to work.
To me, it kind of feels like that's what NASA is. It's a job creation agency. They've created jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Do what?
exactly.
I don't know what all
That was
it is.
just so
I do think that they try and pursue the truth of,
The truth.
I don't know. Well, let me rephrase that. They try to go. They're pursuing the truth of what's out there. Like they want to get
Star
what's really
Trek.
out there.
They want to search and find.
They want to really get out there and find it, but they're not going to let us know what they find.
Do you think they sit around at a round table and do what we're doing right now and say, well, there could be something out there, and then someone says, well, true, but there could be something else. And that's, I
feel like that's scientists all day.
Yeah,
they just get
this all day.
Yeah, they get paid to just, well, there could be.
I mean,
We're not
I
gonna
do
find
think
out.
that they really launch rockets or whatever, and they really try. I think they really try to get to space, but I just don't think that they ever have.
What if NASA's job has been this whole time to create weapons of mass destruction to ensure that we can blow up people from outer space?
I mean, it's fair. I think that if
We
we could have
don't know.
actually made it to the moon,
I mean, we
we'd
don't know. All this stuff that we're saying is, my honest opinion, I have to say it's possible. Just because I sit here and I say, oh, I think aliens exist. I think these other galaxies exist. I think Sasquatch possibly exists. I think all these other things exist. If I think all that's possible, then I have to say anything's possible.
Like going to space.
Possible. I have to say it's possible, I guess.
Oh man.
But I don't think so. I don't think they did.
Yeah. I just have an issue with.
Or watch this. What if NASA is a front and they really have one into space and we're completely wrong? They really have one into space. They know a lot of stuff that's out there, what all is really out there, and they have all this evidence and all this proof. And NASA is a front to throw all of us off because they're like, they ain't gonna believe them anyway.
Could be.
The real NASA or the real space place that they got all this other stuff somewhere else, and NASA's just a front. What if that's possible? Or what if that's a thing?
I think that's what Trey was saying, is that it, maybe they're using it as a weapon of mass destruction. It's a bit of a charge
what you were
phrase,
saying?
but
What?
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it could be making the Death Star. Movies tell the truth, bro.
Oh, they do all the time.
I think we're making the Death Star, and that's why. Okay, long term, it would go into space for the first time, according to you all, and it will work. I hope.
maybe. I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe. As far as getting a rocket into space, I can't get over the fact that they just don't go straight up. And that fun little story that you just told me doesn't help.
It doesn't.
We keep joke. I keep throwing these jokes around there, and the reason I'm saying this now is because we're talking about the curvature of the Earth and all this other stuff. I keep throwing this little joke out there, and I was like, "Jeremy, you're a flat earther," and he's like, "Oh, no, I'm a flat earther," and we're laughing about it. We gotta do an episode on flat Earth.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a flat earther, but I'm also not a round earther either.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm a pear earther.
I know.
I haven't seen it with my own eyes, or somebody that I know and trust
Oh my god.
hasn't seen it.
You know what we should do is we should get someone on this show
What's wrong, Trey?
when we do a flat Earth episode. We should get someone on this show who is a flat earther and can present us with why the Earth is flat,
I mean, they do have a lot.
and see if they can really convince us that we think the Earth is flat. Because I don't really,
I'm on the
I
fence.
don't know. I don't really.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
the Earth is flat. I think it's round.
We live in-
Because, like I said, I do think that they have sent satellites into space. I do think they have the technology to see the planets or take pictures of planets. So I do believe the Earth is round. But
we live in a snow globe. I hate to break it to people,
I hear you.
and God shake us up sometimes.
Hey, I mean, snow globes are flat on the bottom, so
Boom, boom.
Well, I mean, when I was saying that I don't know it's flat, I don't know it's round, you had a little bit of a cadence over there.
Yeah,
that,
because
you know.
I'm trying to figure out what did because you said you followed that up with I haven't seen it for myself, and I'm like, well, it's a lot of stuff we haven't seen for ourselves, Jeremy, that you probably believe.
Yeah, I mean, within reason, I'm starting to believe less and less.
Oh,
Bigfoot.
that's fair.
Bigfoot.
I have more questions than I have. I mean, it goes back to what I was saying. What kind of got me into this situation anyway is just the distrust of everything, because everything is so fake that it's just hard to figure out what's real. It's like when you're talking about your boy on Good Morning America. I'm
Michael
like,
straight here.
yeah, I'm like, okay, that's believable, right? Saw it on TV.
Yeah.
You don't think Michael Strahan could have been corrupted?
No.
You don't think so? You think that's the real Michael Strahan?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, look at the
What?
I hope so.
look at the Tulsa King. It's out of Oklahoma, but it's filmed in Winder, Georgia.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, I know that.
Stallone?
Yeah. Yes.
And
I mean,
Winder?
like that's what I'm saying is there's so much stuff on TV that is fake. Just because you saw it on Good Morning America doesn't make it real.
He said he went
he was
to
in
space.
Winder?
He said he doesn't live in Winder. It's filmed in Winder.
I said, wow, he was in Winder?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Can't believe you missed it.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Like,
you
Stallone
have-
was like, hey, yo, go get me a burger from down there at Casey's. Hey, Paulie, put extra pickles on that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, so many movies and stuff are filmed not where they're based out of, but they make it to look like where they're based out of.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the moon landing video. We don't believe that was actually in space, but they made it look like it was in space.
Fair.
Who do you think filmed that? You think it was Kubrick, or you
Yes,
think it was?
Kubrick. Kubrick's ahead of his time.
You think it was Spielberg?
You know what? I think they worked together at one point. So I think, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
I think
on
they-
the moon landing.
But that's what I mean. Like, you had all these different things. Just because, like I said, if you knew this guy, like, y'all were hanging out at the barbecue at your house or something, I'd say, okay,
So
maybe he's more legit.
So if I told y'all tomorrow, I'm on my way leaving your crib, I said I got abducted by aliens and they probed me, y'all would believe me?
Unfortunately, yes, because
Unfortunately.
I'd have a lot of questions.
I would
for
have a
you,
lot of
yeah.
questions, but I mean, unfortunately, because I love and trust you, and again,
Yeah.
I have never talked to or experienced it myself or heard from somebody I know and trust.
But that's the
And
difference
I know
in us
and I trust you.
Strahan. That's
So
the difference in us and Strahan. We know you.
that's what I'm saying.
I know
Yeah.
him from when he played the Giants.
You don't know
I
him.
don't know him.
Daughter has cancer, beating it. I'm pretty much in the family.
How much money does he have?
A lot.
Exactly.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
What's
of
that line you tell me all the time, Trey?
What?
About people that have money, they want to
Keep money.
They want to keep the money. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, they'll do anything to keep money.
I mean, if you're doing something outlandish like saying you went into outer space, I can't imagine how much that pays. Maybe that's what NASA's doing with all the money. They're, making these videos and then paying their actors
What's
lots of money to keep quiet.
What's the line for you? Like, do you believe like what I think? Do you think that they actually have satellites in space and that they can take pictures of all these planets? So that you don't believe any of that?
I think the closest satellite we have is probably what do you call it? The Brim.
Yeah.
Something.
So you don't believe in the Hubble?
Not in its location.
You're from.
What about you?
I think we see. I think we can take pictures of anything. I think we do have the technology and the power to take pictures of all the different solar systems and Saturn.
Have you ever looked through a telescope into space? Have you ever looked at like the moon, like through a really nice telescope?
A really nice telescope? No.
It looks so fake.
The moon looks fake.
Yeah, like it's weird.
What do you mean? Like it looks like a cardboard box fake?
It looks like, if you ever seen them do like the whole, it looks like Swiss cheese or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally weird. I mean, it's just, it just looks strange. Like all that stuff is just kind of odd to me. And I'm not saying the moon is not real. I mean, obviously there's something there, but I question the validity of it.
Of the moon actually being a thing?
Well, like how it got there, what it really is, stuff like that.
So you think that it could have been created and placed there?
Potentially. I mean, it's definitely created, just by what?
Well, yeah, I'm saying.
God.
Do you think it was created by God, or do you think?
Is that in the Bible? Created the moon? I can't remember.
It says he created the heavens and the earth.
Heavens and the earth, but it doesn't say the moon.
The heavens
Yeah.
and the earth would be the moon, referring to the skies. They call it so. That's
What would
ancient
be-
Near. That's an ancient
sun would be heaven, too.
Near Eastern language. I'm probably saying that funny. And pretty much they refer to space as heavens.
What do you think of as far as space and stuff go? What do you think like the what's that place where they got all those stones and everything, Stonehenge and stuff? What do you think that plays into space?
Witchcraft.
What did you think of the Georgia Guidestones?
Really? You think that?
Witchcraft.
Yeah. Did you ever think how it was?
You think it's witchcraft?
Did you ever read up on it? We need to probably do some research on it, but did you ever
Let's go to them.
read up on you can't. The
What?
Georgia Guidestones got blowed up
They got destroyed
When? By who?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah,
During COVID?
they don't even know who
Oh.
did
Yeah.
it. They don't even know who did it.
The government did it.
Yeah, that's who I think did
What do
it.
you mean? They put a bomb
But
to
they
it?
didn't say they did it.
No,
They say
didn't.
they say they
Wait, hold on.
confirm it.
Rewind.
They don't know who did it.
So they got knocked down, and then like literally, if you've ever seen the government roll in and do anything quick, it was then.
Yeah,
Like the next day, they rolled in and hauled everything off, like it never was there.
that's what I'm saying.
What government?
Do you think
Like local?
Stonehenge and the Georgia Guidestones are just witchcraft, or do you think that they're placed there by another species? For what reason?
Well, I think if I remember historically, the Georgia Guidestones didn't show up to like the 1960s or something weird.
Well, so there's something about the Georgia Guidestones. I can't remember that if you look at like this certain spot, it was supposed to give you some sort of truth on
Yeah.
something. I can't remember what exactly it was, but somebody was going there to to confirm and release this information. And right before they did it, that's when they fell over and then just were dismantled and removed within just hours.
As far as Stonehenge goes, a lot of people believe that they have healing powers and stuff too, astronomically, the way they're set up. Could just be witchcraft.
I'm telling you, it's
Witchcraft.
weird. Weird.
Well, that's all I got. So
Yeah. Do you have anything else on the?
Oh man, I think that's it.
You got your notes written?
Yeah, my
read
notes
out.
are done. My notes are done. We're good.
the moral of the story is it's all witchcraft.
I'm not saying it's.
I'm gonna kick you in the head.
Space is the devil.
No, I mean, I
I'm
think
telling-
that space exists.
Water boy.
I'm not
think it-
saying
I think
space
space
doesn't
exists.
exist.
I think when it all boils down to, we both are saying space exists and the government
But we ain't
lies,
been.
and we ain't really
I
been.
don't
We
think
even-
we've.
We,
I don't
They
think
we
wanna
haven't
go.
even been out of space.
I do think that they want to go. I just don't think they are able to. And
I don't think we've been out of
fine.
what you would call the snow globe.
Okay, that's fair. You know what?
And I don't
would
think they
agree
want
with
to
that.
confess that they haven't been and
What do
say
you
we've
lose by
wasted.
saying?
And I don't.
What do you lose by saying we haven't been?
Because they don't want to tell everybody we've spent all this money
Yeah.
on this,
Dude, if
and
you
we've
said we
accomplished nothing.
If you said we didn't go, that would like. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, we never been to space. The government's lying. No, they've been lying to us.
Yeah, but
Fair.
look at what I'm saying. Look how much money they spend on all this stuff, and they've accomplished nothing.
Have you not?
There's
seen,
so
I
much
sent
more they could have done with this
I
money
sent
to
you
help
guys-
all of us. I've been saying that for years. Give up on the whole space frontier and actually help everybody here with the problems that we have.
I showed y'all, and this is why Jeremy champions Doge, is because there's so much money being wasted just in government and just in the world. Period. We can do better
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
could
agree.
definitely do better. That's the whole point of
by actually
Doge.
going to space.
Oh my God, there's no getting through to him. There's no getting through to him.
I'm not saying save any money. I'm saying blow the budget and let's go to a new planet.
Well,
Let's go
If it's
harass.
actually possible,
If it's
then
possible,
hey.
then do it.
I want us to start harassing other planets. I want us. You know what? Bump it. I'm going full in here. I want us to stop beefing with each other on this little measly rock that we live on, and I want us to start let's become a world domination planet. And our goal should be attack Jupiter to attack Pluto.
Well, they got to conquer this world first with
Bump
the new world
conquering.
order.
See, that's
The new world order.
We don't need to do that. We just need to bully and attack other planets.
I mean, if you think about it, if they got the New World Order in, they could do whatever they wanted to do. You know, that'd be.
I just don't think that they have the capability of getting there. That's what it is. I just don't think that they are able to.
You might be true.
And my whole thing is that if they did go to the moon in 68, why would you just never go back? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And then say, oh, well, the mission changed. We have no reason to go back. No, you would go back. You would want to go back. You'd want to do more research on that planet.
Back. You got threatened not to go back.
Possible.
By an alien species.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it's a little dicey to me. The whole thing. It's
Yeah.
There's definitely something off with it.
there's definitely something off. But I'll tell you this: as far as how much money they've spent,
Like
I can't find a total unless I sit here and add it all up. Nobody's doing the
in
work
its creation.
for me since its creation.
Oh, wait a minute.
So 58 years ago,
Trillions of dollars.
when it started, it was their budget was 88 million. By year, by year, I don't know, 12, they're at $4.5 billion.
Year 12?
Yeah, year 12.
Like this is like what they started.
And this is their yearly budget
wait, and they started when?
in 1958.
So, and by 1960 something, we're spending $6 billion when that money is like money then.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is by 1969, that's when it was 4.251 billion, okay? So think about that. We went to the moon when their budget was $4.251 billion. That was their budget when we went to the moon. Do you know how much their budget is in 2024?
50 billion.
130 billion.
$24 billion. So we're talking $20 billion in addition after all these years. And we were able to go to the moon on just $4 billion, but
Can't go back on 20.
we can't go back on 24.
The mission has changed, but spending money has not.
Allegedly.
So in 2010, their starting budget was 18 billion. By 2019, it was 21 billion.
What are they doing?
And like I said, in 2024, we're at 24.8 billion.
That's why they can't tell you.
So yeah,
they're
we're
doing.
multi-trillions.
That's why they can't
spent
tell
in
you.
NASA.
That's why they can't tell you that they haven't
What are
been,
they
Trey.
doing?
That is exactly why they can't say that they haven't been.
We should do an episode where we just look at what NASA does.
I mean, it would definitely. Yeah, we
I'm
would
a-
probably
I'm a-
get more work done than they do.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm going to look it up and send it to y'all privately. One of
I
my
mean,
apps.
I'm just saying it is. It's pretty intense. So I guess their budget has kept up with inflation. So
I want to know what their budget was in comparison in 1960 to other people. They had 4 point something in the 60s. I want to know what was DOD's budget. It had to be high because we were in Vietnam.
let's see. In what year?
Same year. 40 billion in 69. Then how much was somebody else's budget in 69?
Let's see.
So that would be the major thing.
That is not as easy to find, just for the record.
See? We had to come back to it.
So yeah, that took longer than I felt like it should, but we got it. So it says of the $15.2 billion increase in total budget in 1969, $6.2 billion for the Department of Defense and Military Assistance Program, and $3.9 billion is available for trust funds. $0.9 billion is for interest on the public debt, and $1.6 billion for the military and civilian pay raises effective July 1st, 1968. So it was $15.2 billion all in, and then what was that, $4.2 billion to NASA, which is crazy.
What the heck is a trust for military?
I'm guessing it's like the hazard. Don't they have like, hazard pay for military? You die, your family gets, money. So I assume that's what the trust is for.
It's almost like health and life insurance.
Yeah, it's like life
Okay.
insurance. So if your spouse dies in war,
I'm gonna say this, and then I know we're about to wrap, but it's no way in 1968 that we needed $15 billion for war. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, if we didn't need it for war, we didn't need $4.2 billion for
NASA.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That is wild.
Yeah,
But to sum it all up for me, that's why you can't. They can't tell you that. I mean, because of how much money they spend, they can't tell you we didn't go because they have to be able to tell you, like, this is what we're doing with the money. They have nothing to show for it.
I asked that question off mic, but I'm gonna say this because we're wrapping up. I think we went to outer space. I think when we got up there, we met something, and they said, "Hey, don't bring it back here. If you do, any human that comes back up here, you're crossing the line, buddy."
So I mean, if that was the case, is Jeff Bezos going to space?
If he goes past the moon, he's gonna meet the same people.
Well, I got a question for you. Do you think that, as far as that goes, do you think that there are actually aliens though that live amongst us?
Hey, that's a different episode. That's a different episode. We can open those cans of worms on a different episode.
I mean, it coincides with your theory a little bit.
Well, for me, like I said, I'm not saying we haven't gone, but I have not seen it. I have not experienced it.
I hope NASA comes to you and say, "Hey, let's go to space."
That's fine.
Hey,
I'd go. I'm sure they would probably,
I don't know if I'd go. I don't trust them. They'd probably just terminate me.
Yeah, I'd be on the exploding rocket.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
Well, he never gonna see it now.
Apollo Jeremy went down. But the good news is it was over water, so nobody was harmed in the explosion except for him, of course.
Oh, man.
They would probably send me alone. But to be honest with you, if I was approached, why would you say no? Why would I wouldn't say no. I'd be like, yeah, I will literally be your biggest proponent of the truth if this is real.
I might say yes. Only if I'm able to document it and record it.
Why wouldn't you be able to? That's exactly what they would want you to do.
I would hope that they would want me to.
That's what they would want you to do. They would want you to show the people.
Do they though? Where's all the recordings out of all the other people that got launched in space?
It's on Good Morning America, apparently.
Hey, that's Jeff Bezos. It's not NASA.
I have my doubts.
I'm just saying, if you
say he wouldn't lie to us.
If it was on The View, would you believe it more?
Yeah, definitely. A group of women talking about space?
Maybe,
absolutely.
Maybe you could send old Whoopi up there or Joy. That'd be.
They would have a good time. Whoopi would definitely do.
She'd have another Sister Act movie in her, I bet.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine a Sister Act space movie?
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
I'd take
That'd be wonderful. The hair be flying and around, yeah.
That'd be dope. I don't know how they would write it, but it would be dope.
Oh, man. Wonderful.
They feel like their human rights have been violated.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate everybody listening. And this is obviously just for entertainment purposes only. Yes. But, however, if I get an invitation to go to space, the answer is yes.
And we would document Jeremy's journey.
I'd say maybe.
Trey, would you go?
No, I'm actually not going.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to blow up in a rocket ship with you.
I'd say maybe.
I'm not saying you have to go with me if they approached you and said, hey, leave that guy.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I don't trust him.
No, not at all.
Okay, well, I'm the only person going, so hit me up, NASA.
That's why I said we'll document your experience. and then at the end we'll put in love and memory.
Miss you so much.
We'll do the podcast.
I could do the podcast from space.
That would be
Yes.
amazing.
Hey, apparently because I mean
That would be that would
Nixon
be
he did call them from a landline phone, so apparently they got telephones up there.
Yeah, I mean it's perfect. I'll take a line with me, and you just hit me up.
Cool. That's a mighty long cord.
Yeah, what'd you think about that, Mister? I think we've been to space.
Hey,
He called him from
I
a
didn't-
landline phone.
I didn't say we went to the moon. I said we've been to space.
That's true. I'll give
That's
you that
true,
one.
yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll take back my little.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
take
it.
that back.
Yeah.
But
take
that,
that
was really mean.
I take it back.
I'm about to cry on it.
I take it back. I take it back.
It's Monday and people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's just off to a bad start." Yeah, he is.
Trey's bundled up like an Eskimo right now.
I
just
really am.
freezing
I
death.
feel so good right now. Thank you for this blankie. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Remember the truth's out there. Just read between the lines.